So it's a welcome back again. Obviously ready for video number 118, which will be the Pilates version of this yellow band workout. You'll start the workout sat down. It does follow on from yesterday's workout. I would recommend a bit of a head cushion should you well, just have it ready because I think you need it for the lying down. The easiest way to set yourself up with this band is start seated. And once you're seated as well, it gives you the chance to work out exactly where you are in time and space. I would have my feet together, heels together, then gradually bring your hands down the band. At this point you want to probably have an equal, you want the feet more or less at the centre of the band. Take your time. This part of the workout is going to be probably a little bit more slower and definitely cueing a better connection, because the yellow band, when we do this Pilates version, really takes you to your core, okay? I've got my band in the right place, my elbows are bent, my knees are bent. I'm just going to slide and roll backwards, and I'm going to use the band to help lift my legs safely. Once I'm back, I need to put my head cushion in the right place, but because my band is around my feet equally, it works really well. My legs are in the air and I'm deliberately going to bring them a bit closer to me than would normally be what I request. And then I've crossed the band over, so I've made a cross, I've simply swapped it from left to right. At which point, without there being any tension on the band, I reach for the band and have it so that it's no tension, but a connection. When my elbows bend and flow close to my hip bones, this is where I want there to be no tension. As I work on my symmetry now, I said earlier that the band is the breath. Go to your breathing muscles. At the moment you may well be in neutral, you might be in imprint, but we're going to make sure we understand the difference between the two. Inhale through the nose, and on the breath out, as your ribs come down, draw your pelvic floor up and shrink your tummy in. The band is nothing yet, except it's a connection that might help your legs feel happier in the air. Inhaling again. Now on the breath out, pelvic tilt, using pelvic floor. So you've taken the pelvis to imprint with the yellow band just being around the feet without real tension. You feel the imprint of the lumbar, and then breathe out and go back to neutral. Next time as you go to imprint on the pelvic floor, exhale, and as you go to imprint, gently tighten the band as the breath out happens. And you should feel a stronger imprint. Stay with those arms reaching slightly wide, inhale, and then exhale. Release the tension on the band as you go back to neutral. That means the pelvic position is going to tilt on the breath out as you stretch against the band. You breathe in, and it's going to roll back to neutral. That means the lumbar spine just finds that peephole, that little airspace. And again, exhaling, pelvic tilt, stretch the band, you're now in imprint, and inhale, release the band, and you're in neutral. That's subtle but specific. All right, we're going to take it a little bit deeper than this, then we're going to curl up with the upper body. So, same principle, stay with a gentle imprint. Breathe out then, and as you pull the band wide, so my arms go wide, you've got your rolling spine, and as you narrow them down, the band releases. Exhale, increase intensity by pulling against the band, the breath out. Breathing in, the band reduces, eases the intensity as you roll down. Exhale, start pulling, and stay. You're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and you're breathing out. Inhaling, let that band ease off a bit. And exhaling, pelvic floor, nerve, spine, and stretch. So I'm pulling this band away from the shins and down. I'm floating it on the inhale to the side of the shin. Exhaling. And inhaling. The band, by being pulled, will amplify your obliques. When you next come out with your arms wide, stay. So I'm going to keep my arms here, but pull my elbows back in. So in other words, I'm stretching the band. I've put my head, neck and shoulders down. My hands are mid-thigh, my elbows are by the sides of my hips or hip bones. Breathe in. Breathing out then, push the band away, leaving your arms where they are, the band naturally stretches. Breathe in, the tension decreases, you roll down. Exhaling. Keep those elbows anchored in, keep the imprint of the spine. Your arms don't have to move because your legs are pushing against the resistance on the band, and your breathing muscles, remember, the breath out will always be the increase of resistance on that band, and the inhale pulling back. The band is allowing you to ask more of the deep abdominal core area and to take the legs a little bit lower down and also to flex upwards a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to get emphasis now on the curling up. So if you leave your legs as though it's a 100 position and then let the head go down. So I've got the band, it's tight. Exhale, I'm going to pull the band to me and curl up, and inhale, relax it away a bit and go down. Breath out, bend, pull the band to you as your elbows bend, inhale and back down. If you need your legs to be bent rather than straight to get more out of this, then do so. Whichever way, tune to the band as the ability to flex you up and release you down. 2 more. And a way to make even more of this to the obliques is here. Let your band relax a bit. If you need to pull your knees in, do so. In fact, do that. Let's be kind. Next position is going to be using one arm pulling down and then easing back up, reducing the tension, and then the other arm. I'm hoping you can feel what happens to the obliques when you do this. Go back to tabletop legs, 90 degrees, you're imprinted. Exhaling, curl, centre, and pull the arm down nearest the screen. Watch it go down, you'll feel your obliques. Inhale, float it back, and put the head down. Breath out, start the rolling breath out, and then pull the opposite side down. Don't let the legs move. Inhale, float it back, and roll down. Exhaling. And inhale. Obviously it stands to reason that the pull is away from the shoulder and comes from the back of the armpit as well as the ribs. Play around with tension on the band. You might find that you're better off with less tension at the start of the move, and then as you pull against it, you get more to feel. That can also work in your favour. Breathing out, pelvic floor, nails, spine. I've got left arm going down. Inhale, it floats up. And again, exhaling, right arm. Inhale, back up. This works through the back of the shoulder stability system, your lats, serrats, and your obliques. Yes, your hip flexors are possibly in there too. All right, we're going to do one more to the left. And lower that down. Before I take you to single leg stretch, take your right leg in the band and keep the band crossed. And now put your right hand to the band. Your left leg is going to have a stretch for the flexor. I'm going to stretch you out before doing what we call single leg stretch. So part of the stretch will be holding that band, my elbow is anchored, and the drawing of circles, inhaling the downwards phase, exhaling, coming up and over. We did this yesterday, but so briefly, but I do believe I'm meant to probably cue it more efficiently for a learning experience. The band can be held with both hands, but you definitely feel the pivotal elbow, my right leg are doing the core connecting or the foundational stabilizing. And then my thigh bone, right thigh, able to articulate within that ball and socket connection. It feels smooth. I'm reaching my leg up and out. Exhaling always through the midline and back up. Inhaling into the circular action. This is a movement pattern that you can build up. Now, the stronger your upper body connection to this band is, the better. In other words, it's not in my shoulder, it's in my core. My pelvic shape is perfectly neutral, and my leg that's on the floor is hugely active. Okay, I'm going to go back the way I came. So I'm changing the direction, exhaling up and over, inhaling, flowing away, exhaling up and over. So the more you can pelvic stabilise, the more you can use your hold of the band for the leg to work with, the more mobility you get from this action of leg circles. Beautiful hip mobilisation, one more, and let that go. Keep this same leg in the band. We're going to do single leg stretch, which is much more abdominally biased. The leg that's been resting but active on the floor, as it were, so it's reached out and being stable on the floor, is going to bend and then reach long. So already I've got my right leg up in the air. I'm going to exhale, slowly switch. The band leg presses away, I've curled up, breathe in and reach that left leg to the sky. Exhale, slowly switch. Breathe in, reach the band leg upwards. Exhaling, slowly switch. I'm imprinting the spine more or less. Inhale. So, you can do a push, push, and a push, push. Almost imperceptible, but both legs are utterly strong. Your rib cage, part of the spine, stay flexed. And feeling for all of the abdominal glutes working. Obviously, if it starts to go into your neck, simply place your head down and do the movement without curling. But don't let the spine float away from the floor. This is the last one, so single leg stretch. The leg that reaches up stretches away, but the leg, and this is where the band is genius, the leg that's pushing into the band also stretches. So you're cueing your body to do two reaches, one upwards and one away, and let that go. That should have felt lovely. And do the leg with the band. Hold the band light this time, so we've got more mobility and strength. And stretch out the leg that's been in the band. The thigh, the hip connection here will feel really pleasant because of what you've done. Now we're going to do the same with this leg. So your right leg that's on the ground and straight is active, but on the ground. This leg starts to come into the body and back out. Don't worry about which journey you decide to do first with this. It's more that you get this smooth articulation, giving the thigh the chance to ease out of all of its tightness. The amount of tightness that happens in our hips due to lots of seated positions and wear and tear, you know, it just is what it is. But this, if you can get it right, is a beautiful exercise. The other way of doing it is with a slight bent leg and making sure your thigh bone moves rather than bracing a locked knee. But if you can use the band, I think you actually get a much better feedback. Obviously, you do need to centre the armpit, make sure that the movement of the leg is going into a stable pelvis. The journey with the band coming up, it eases, doesn't it? It like just springs up and over. All right, going to change the direction. Inhaling away it goes, exhale. And I can feel with this left thigh in the pelvis, it doesn't feel anything like my right leg. The band is giving me the chance to feel for more space. And you don't have to do this movement speedily. What you do need though is to relax into it rather than force it. So sometimes we think we know where the body can go, but actually if we were to listen, sense and communicate, we'd realise that there's a difference from side to side. Okay people, however poorly that felt in terms of movement pattern, there will be a real value to you for that. Are you ready for your single leg stretch? So we bend the leg that's been on the floor reaching, and you're ready for that leg then stretching out and away. So double leg length reach and slow motion. Curl up, breathe in, and away we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Remember that reach, reach. and reach, reach. You can see I'm changing arms. I'm trying to find the best grounding. Keeping the middle to lower back flat and just slowing it down for you to see. Refuse to make this happen without your breath. It's your breathing deeply that gives the space back to the body where it's been lost. And space creates joint realignment. 2 more. Or 1 more. And pull both legs in. Put both feet into the band and roll yourself up. So now we're ready, fit for the rolling down and up. Again, I think this is for whether it's a beginner or advanced person, or experienced, I should say, really. None of us are advanced, we're just experienced. In this position, the band probably gives you the most easiest conceptual awareness of how to connect with it. In other words, as you pull it and roll back, it assists the spine movement, and as you ease it, it helps you come back up. I'm going to take you through C-shaped spine, which is deep abdominal obliques. The band is relaxed initially, your hands are holding it by your knee joints and your legs, ankles are flexed. You breathe in. Breathing out, pull your elbows back. Now leave your hands halfway down the thigh, breathe in. Breathe out, roll off your sit bones, leaving your hands where they are. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep your hands where they are, pull your elbows backwards, inhale and sit tall. So exhale, pull back. You've created energy in your obliques, not your upper body. Use that energy control for rolling through the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out, pull your elbows further back. Do you feel more obliques? Breathe in. Breathe out. Use the energy that's accrued in the band to help you flow back up again. If you feel something's working, play with it, okay? Exhaling then, I'm going to pull my elbows back, shoulder blades together, and lean off my sit bones. I'm going to breathe in again. Leave my hands where they are and use the tension found in the band to create symmetry as I roll down all the way through to the sacrum. I've now got relatively straight arms, my pubis is to the ceiling, pelvic floor navel to spine. Breath out, I'm going to start pushing the band, pulling the elbows back and reverse rolling back up and using that energy to effortlessly sit myself upwards. Inhaling backwards. Breathe out, start to pull your arms back and simultaneously lower the spine down 1 vertebra at a time. I find myself where I'm comfortable to go. My legs are still bent, my collarbones are still open, my chin's still nodded in. On the next breath out, I'm going to pull that band towards me a bit more. Then as I bend at the elbow, I bend at the base of the breast area and I feel myself rolling up, honouring the symmetry that is a rehab moment. Inhaling, back we go. Exhale, take the arms. The more you need assistance, the more energy put into that band. Have a breath in. Assist. You can pull your elbows bent, pull the elbows in, and as you come over your hardest place, allow the band to ease you up. Taking the band a bit wider. As you exhale and pull back, you'll get some of your upper back stabilizers. So breathe out, you've got that slight lean back, and you're wanting to pull with the back of you, the armpit. Palms are facing down. 1 more. We're prepping for doing teaser. You need the sense that your upper body's open. And leaning back slightly off my sit bones. Now, to get moving, exhale, even more of a tuck under. Can you slide your feet to you and then float your feet up? Breathe in, pull the heels down, breathe out, slide the feet away. Here it goes, shoulder blades, collarbones. Exhaling, slide your heels across the mat towards your sit bones. Inhale, breathe out, using the band as a sensory awareness, lift the legs up pull the heels down and push your legs away. Breathe. Let the legs stay straight. Exhale. They come to bend. Reach your arms wider, palms down, and flow your legs up. Breathe. Breathe. Pull your legs down and push your legs away. This is flexors, obliques, it's teaser prep. We're going to do it once more. Breathe in. Chest, arms, upper body. So on T's you need everything working. Pelvic floor, navel to spine. The sense of reach, the sense of return reach, and then holding here to take away the impact on the flexors. You're going to roll all the way down. Breathe in, palms facing you. Exhale, stretch the legs away. Breathe, and then bending your elbows. Return your spine all the way up. Slide the legs bent again, another flush out as it were. Inhaling, lean. Exhale, flexors disappear with the obliques. Legs reach. Bend your elbows so that the energy appears in the oblique and you get that lovely rolling up. And stretch the legs away. Take your arms wide, make sure you've got enough band. Exhaling, reach them behind you and forwards bend your rib cage. And inhale and open. Palms are facing backwards. On the reform, this is like backwards row. The bend is at the rib cage, not the hip bones. One more. Breathe out. Dive, crown the head forwards as it were, crown of the head. And inhale and back. And then breathe out. Open your arms. Open your chest. Lifting to the sky, fingers to the floor. You're not grounded anywhere, you're reaching, and the connection from hand to band to feet to core allows the body to expand before you relax it off again and you let that go. Okay people, all we have time for, when you take the band away, it's a bit like the glute band, the body should feel lighter than it did, a little bit more floaty. The band requires a huge amount of shoulder and therefore lats and strats stabilisation. That is really what you're looking to feel and find. I appreciate that I could teach this in many different ways at different levels, but remember, as long as you practice doing this and you get something from it without injuring, shoulders, neck really is it, then you're going somewhere forwards towards gaining a better technique and a better alignment. So posture fitness, posture health, posture rehab, all of those things are happening in these videos. Stay well today, take care, and we will be back again tomorrow with something else. Zoom does start today for the 6 o'clock Tuesday, 7 o'clock Wednesday and 6 o'clock Thursday. If you need more help, if you need a one-to-one to troubleshoot some understanding, ready for coming back to the studio, you know what to text. Okay, see you soon, bye-bye.